Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Unqualified Filmbros podcast. Another double dipper as we race through as many 2025 releases as we can before the end of the year. Obviously, it's not about consuming content, it's about enjoying and participating in art. But just the way the schedule is shaking out, we're doing two movies again on this episode, just like last week. No Colby this week, so Colby, we miss you. We'll see you again soon, I hope.
For House
But you
of
got,
Dynamite 2.
yeah, when we finally understand what happened in that movie, they open with the same 17 minutes again
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you can find out at this point.
in
we're
real
getting
time
se
this
we're getting
time.
seven more viewpoints. We get viewpoints from Chicago. We're getting more of
Oh
Idris
my God.
Elba. We're getting
We're
Angel
getting
Reese this time,
Yep,
guys.
yep.
Don't forget. It's a
we're
big one.
getting
Surfing the
missile
internet.
POV,
Yep, yep. That takes up a full half hour of the movie, by the way.
and at one point it's like we're watching Red Zone and we get like a SEPTA box of the seven new perspectives. Is that
Oh,
right? SEPTA box?
Yeah,
Hepta box?
wait, a
yeah,
septa box would be
Seven
17?
boxes.
yeah.
Or, yeah, seven.
Zoom windows for ICBMs.
I'm surprised they didn't go straight up like this Zoom setup that we've got going on for any of that movie.
I mean, most of it kind of was on the satcom. Like
That's
that's kind of
true.
what it felt like.
I don't know. I've kind of put that movie behind me. This has been a long intro.
That's
Um,
all right.
Yeah, let's get on with
clearly,
it.
we clearly had more to say when we ended the episode last week. Um, but here we are on a Friday evening, bringing you two more movies. We have a theatrical release and a Netflix release, the exact same as we did last week. Um, two movies that are quite different. We're going to talk about Eternity, the new romantic comedy set in the afterlife, and we are also talking about Left-Handed Girl, which, if memory serves, 209 episodes later, 210 somewhere in there, our first foreign language film, which has been a glaring blind spot for us. Something that we should work on and watch more foreign films. But we're going to talk about Eternity. We're going to talk about Left-Handed Girl. Um, let's get into it. So these two wanted to talk about Eternity first. They're very excited about it. So, gentlemen, what do you guys think?
I do want to point out that we have watched foreign films before, but perhaps not in foreign languages.
This is our first foreign
Yeah,
language
foreign
film.
language. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hey, withdrawn.
But either way,
Uh,
it's a big gap for us.
And we're
For
starting to
sure.
fill that in with this episode.
Yeah,
well, Eternity is in English. Um,
true.
I'm not a big fan of rom-coms. This one is well done. I think it's a little it loses a lot like in the middle, kind of drags for a little bit, which I thought was a little bit unnecessary with the two dates to decide who she's gonna spend eternity with, which to me is also just I think it's a neat concept, but I can't figure out what kind of sick god would make you decide after everything you went through in life that you have to decide right then and there the one person you're gonna get to spend eternity with. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. I do think it looked great, but it was for me it was just kind of ho hum, right? Like it wasn't really anything more than what I expected it to be. Like
It
I didn't go in expecting it to be extraordinary. It wasn't, but I found it enjoyable. I found the premise to be interesting enough. Ben, I think you're right. It did drag in the middle, and I thought it was a little too predictable, with all the switches and everything going back and forth. But
Yeah, I
it
felt
was
like
enjoyable, right? Like there was nothing offensively bad about this film, at least for me, right? Like I didn't find it to be so bad that I could never watch it again, but I liked it. I didn't love it.
no, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a decent movie. It's just I'm not a rom-com person, so I'm not going to really rewatch it. I mean, my favorite rom-com is probably I think I told them like When Harry Met Sally. I don't think I've seen that in
That's
years.
the rom-com.
I'm going to rewatch it one of these days, but
Well,
it's just
When
not what
Harry
I'm
Met
in.
Sally and Putt Putt, those are the two rom-coms.
Okay, all right. Let's relax there. I mean, am I off though in this? I just think that that's kind of insane. I know it's a rom-com, but that's kind of cruel, don't you think?
No, it's
Like,
certainly cruel, but
Yeah.
I do appreciate that it didn't like it didn't kind of force, I'm glad that the outcome that we ended up with is the outcome we ended up with. It
yeah,
felt like if
but
we
they
had
had to
gone the
break
other
a
way,
few
it would have been
rules.
really cruel.
I know, but they had to break a few rules just to like, what do you mean you can't change? Like, what? Why not? What if they break up? What do you mean?
It's eternity.
Yeah, well, people could be married for like 50 years and then decide we've grown apart. I can only imagine what would happen after 500. Like, you gotta let people.
Yeah, I mean,
I want eternity too now. Like, what's gonna happen 100 years down the line? Is she gonna regret her choice and be like, "Oh
heard
fuck"?
it here first, folks.
It
Ben
took
Green
two
is
days.
asking for a sequel
I'm not
to a
asking for it.
romantic comedy.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure some people would enjoy
I'm not asking for a sequel. Movies like this don't need a sequel.
it. No, no.
No,
Um, but I
which
enjoyed it,
means they're
and I
probably
think
gonna make one.
gross. Stop, stop.
If it makes enough money, that's
It's not
the
going to.
key
That's the
thing.
No,
thing.
it's not going to.
Nobody sees original IP in theaters anymore.
But also, I feel like rom-coms are kind of not as popular as they once were. I mean, some of them still do well, but it used to be like every rom-com, there would be a ton of people just to, go watch it. These days, I don't know.
That's because people wanted to see the movie stars of 20 years ago in every single rom-com.
I think it's just culture's changed.
Fair, but you also had like even in really bad ones, like I just watched Bride Wars with Kat the other day, and like that's Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway, right? It's like, okay, that's a good draw. Like that's a lot of fun. Chris Pratt too, forgot he was in that.
You know what?
But it's like I get it, right? Like there's something there. I think they
Maybe
were
it's
trying
just
to
that there were.
capture that with Elizabeth Olsen and Miles Teller. They're kind of hot right now. I guess Callum Turner kind of is not so much compared to the other
Aren't
two, but
I mean
Considering
this
Callum Turner's
feels.
about to be Bond,
I did see that. I did see that. Yep.
apparently
I thought
he's
they
Denis
wanted a no-name
Villeneuve's top
actor.
choice.
Yep.
Well,
They
it
don't know
depends on
what
if
they want.
if Amazon gets their say or if Denis gets his say.
Uh,
God, this is gonna be a disaster. Maybe it'll
Callum
be
Turner,
great.
I'm
Maybe it'll
I'm
be a
on board.
disaster.
I'm on board for Callum Turner as Bond 26.
Oh no, it doesn't matter who the. I just mean like this conflict.
yeah.
Amazon's not nice.
None of them are nice. None of them is nice, excuse me.
Well, yeah,
Um,
but James Cameron can tell executives to fuck off and they'll listen to him.
Because he can point to $2.5 billion.
Yeah, just be like,
and
hey,
you know what?
who
In
else
another
made these
three
numbers?
weeks, he's going to point at another $2.5 billion.
Let's
He
go,
is.
Jim.
At least we'll know
Earn that
that.
cash.
As
Um,
at least we know that Avatar isn't going to be made with AI.
That is
Anyway, can I
true.
no.
share my thoughts on Eternity?
Sure.
I
Yes.
liked it. That's not a surprise to anyone.
I figured it has
Well,
Elizabeth Olsen in it.
no, well, not just Elizabeth Olsen. I like Miles Teller. I like Callum Turner. I love Divine Joy Randolph. She is absolutely sensational in this and everything she does. More of her, please, please, please give me more. Um, she's absolutely sensational in this, steals the show. Um, but also I think the cast here, the three of them, our three leads, that is, has really great chemistry. I think they each play their role in this afterlife world really well. Miles Teller playing a cranky old man as a mid-30s guy, Elizabeth Olsen playing an elderly woman who just battled cancer, now as a young woman again. Like they have these old soul personalities that I feel really come across in their characters here. And Callum Turner is sort of the lost love, the war hero. It was Korea, I know. But
War hero.
It counts,
having
guys, I promise you.
Yes. Yeah, wait, we don't go into his service, huh? I mean,
no,
No.
maybe we don't want to. Maybe she doesn't want to go there. That's not
but
in the Hall of Records or whatever.
I think the world building was really strong. I was committed to what they were going for right off the bat. I was on board with, all right, this is how the afterlife works in this particular story. That works for me. I think I can roll with this. And then they kept to it the entire time. Um, that being said, yeah, I will agree with you guys. I thought the second act dragged a little bit. I thought the two separate dates, seeing which fit was better, felt like filler,
Mhm.
considering really the only experience she needed was with Luke, and yet we got the date with Larry too at the beach.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, I think the end outcome was the right one. I think yes, she lost her first love in Luke in life. But then the man that she found second and really formed this lifelong connection with, um, that's who she was meant to be with, and I'm glad that that was the choice that she made. That being said, my expectation going into the film was the first choice that she made. Neither of them. I
Sure.
thought my prediction for the film was that she would not be able to choose between the two of them, and she would choose not to be with either of them, which she does for about 2 minutes before Larry bursts into the train and says, "Hey, you can't do that. You got to be with Luke."
Well, I'm sorry, how many rom-coms have you watched? Why was that your expectation?
Because I thought it would subvert the norm. I thought
I
they
Okay,
was
would
well,
go with
expecting that to
kids.
rom-coms.
happen at some point. I just didn't think we would get so many switches in the last half hour of the film, right?
Yeah, no,
Like
I
it went back and forth like what, three times?
Yeah, there it could have
Yeah.
resolved at any of the 3 points.
Yeah.
Neither of them, Luke or Larry. They could have stopped the movie and had a peaceful resolution at any of them.
by the way, it
And
was it wasn't that it could happen or that was one of the choices that you would make, but you said that was where she would like her final choice. I don't think that would fit a rom-com at all. That would be depressing. I mean,
No, it was about
unless
her
they made
finding her independence and saying that she didn't need them.
for
It would have been a
eternity
different movie.
to be alone for eternity,
Not alone,
I also think that
finding new people.
like in
the
a bar.
I
They
also
set up
think
the
that
idea
then
in the first act of meeting somebody in the afterlife.
Yeah, but
yeah.
what happens? I mean, can you? What are the stipulations there? If you like get into a relationship with them, can you back out from them, or is this like can you back out from anyone? Can you ever
I
change your
think
mind?
you can back out. I think it's at least from my understanding, it's like it's really just the location of eternity.
Ah, yeah, I guess that makes
Like you
sense.
can't leave that eternity. You can, I guess you could leave. They don't explore that. They don't explore like what would happen if
So
she,
theoretically, if eternity goes on, for
yeah,
infinity,
For all time,
and
yes.
you just got all
always.
these people. I guess you got new people arriving, so this would not be an issue. But I was
Yeah,
thinking,
and
what
I
if
mean
you
when
just
she
dated everyone?
leaves Luke at the end, it's I guess it's kind of implied that he can go out and make friends in his mountain world or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like sure, I think that's probably what they are going for, but it's about who you choose to be with. And so that's why the scenario where Larry basically tells her, go get Luke, never made any sense because that's not her making a choice. That was the whole point of the film. That would never make sense. So we knew that something was going to happen after the neither, right? Like we knew that that was never going to be the end point. We knew each of those things was never going to be the end point. We didn't need all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think we did. I think we needed all. I'm going to push back on that. I think we needed all three because the way the movie presents itself and by giving us a view into what a day in eternity is like for Joan with each of these guys, and also what her relationship or what other relationships she's forming in the afterlife, what those would be like. I think seeing with some implied sense of finality what each choice means for her, I think we as the audience need to see that because we need to see how it affects the character. And then, sure, go ahead.
I was just gonna make a suggestion as to how to make that more interesting, right? I think if there was some like time dilation where eternity feels like a year, and that the end of, there's some end of time or whatever, end of your eternity or whatever would make it more. But again, like that's adding unnecessary things that don't need to be there, just like they did with, like, I think if we had one of those endings that was kind of confusing or like maybe we don't expect it or it's like the neither or the picking Luke or whatever, if you had one of those without both of the dates, which either had to go really well for both of them or had to be a disaster for both of them, which is kind of what we got. It's just adding so much there that doesn't need to be there. It's like it's all filler. Like this can be a straightforward love story. Like it's set up to be these are two people, Larry and I forget Elizabeth Olsen. What's her character's
Joan.
name again? Joan. They've been together for 65 years. They've built a life together. Of course, they have to end up together at the end of eternity. If you don't do that in this kind of film, it doesn't make any sense. It
Yeah.
just felt like too much playing around and being too cute with the premise. Like, I get you need the conflict. I understand that. You need the choice or whatever. Fine. But it felt like they were playing around with too much, and there wasn't enough there for me to feel like there was actually any stakes. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
didn't
also
feel like their relationship was ever gonna not end up together. And that's kind of the whole point of a rom-com, is if you're gonna actually subvert the idea of a rom-com, you have to actually feel like they might not end up together. I never felt that.
Yeah, the idea
yeah.
you're right that the idea was always in the back of my mind that it was going to be Larry. And it should
I
have
mean,
been
it's
Larry.
also it's not even like a typical rom-com where it's like, oh, or, can I get this girl to date me or can we keep going out? It's like I've already been with these two people for long enough to marry them. Now I'm choosing one of them. It's romantic in a way, but it's not the typical like this can end up wrong, if you get what I mean. It never feels like she can make a mistake. Um, and also they preface it just with them, dying of old age or dying of cancer and whatever, choking on a
I
pretzel.
think the choice to show the older versions of those two characters at the beginning of the movie was 100% the right one.
Yeah,
Because
but
if
it
we
sets
just
it
meet,
up so much. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like it sets it up
yeah,
like we didn't meet this fucking Luke guy. I mean, I don't trust him. Korean War vet. But yeah, I mean, he just shows up and it's like, okay, this is conflict. But I never felt like, even when she chose him, it was just gonna go back. You know what I mean?
Because it's lovely he waited. Sure.
It's great. It's also
Yeah.
kind of sad. I feel
Yeah.
bad for the dude.
yeah. And now, because we knew from when Joan and Larry were alive that she wanted to go to the mountains. And so Luke picked the eternity of the mountains to be with Joan. And now he's just in the mountains, which might not have been where he wanted to end up after all. by himself with all these
Kind of a
other
kind of a dark
people.
movie.
It's a horror movie from Luke's perspective.
It's a dark movie for Luke. First he dies in the Korean War. Now we don't know his past, all right, but then he's just stuck on a mountain for eternity.
True.
It hasn't been
He's
great
got
for
a
him.
nice mountain cabin for sure, but
Yeah, I
it's
hope.
like
But
empty
no one to
and
share it
he's
with.
alone. And he has a movie theater where he can go live and relive his entire life with Joan
Oh
and without
God,
Joan for the rest of his existence.
no! It's gonna be like we watched Minority Report. You remember
We
when
did.
Tom Cruise is just like flipping through baby pictures or his
Yeah.
son's pictures? He's like doing drugs, like crying. That's gonna be him every single day, every night. He's just gonna be looking through his life with Joan.
And that's Eternity too, when he
Oh
escapes
God.
the same way
God.
Joan did and
And
goes and
kidnaps
finds
Joan
goes and finds
and
Joan and
takes her to
Larry.
his movie theater lair.
Yeah, it
There's a
was
lot of ways you can go.
hmm
yeah. It's look, we're 3 weeks out from the end of the year. It's not going to be in my top five for the year. I don't think I think I can speak for all of us when I say this isn't going to be a top five movie for any of us.
Yeah, I mean my
It's not
consensus
bottom
is
five though either, right? Like that's
Right.
kind of the point
yeah,
is that this wasn't either extreme. It just was like, okay, great. I mean, it's a nice
It
story for
was
the people that you want the story to go well for, you know, and that's
except for
fine.
Luke. I mean, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, but we were never really rooting for Luke, like, and that was kind of the point, I guess, right? And that's
Yeah,
what I mean is that we didn't need all this stuff with I get it. That's the whole point and the premise, but like we were always going to be rooting for Joan and Larry. If they didn't end up together, then that's a bad movie. I'm sorry.
yeah.
If
But
they're
I
not
mean,
together, that's a bad movie.
there's some issues, but like if you like rom-coms, it'll be a fun watch for you. If you don't, you might enjoy it. I had fun.
Hmm
Um,
Yeah.
and it is
but I'm not gonna watch it again.
a huge win for lighting and color grading. This film is just delightful to look at.
Okay, but maybe we should talk
Sorry,
about.
I just had to get that out there. Technically speaking, this is Eternity is very nice to look at.
I mean, I would
Um,
hope that a love story about sort of eternity and you finding your literal soulmate or choosing your literal soulmate is gonna be whimsical and it's gonna look
yeah,
pretty, right? Like if it didn't, again, that would be another knock on it. Like it's checking these sort of foundational blocks of what it should look and feel like, and that's great.
What's
But
the budget?
good for them. It's a fun it is a fun movie. Like I would give it a
yeah.
recommendation. I
I
still
would
would.
I would also give it a full
Yeah.
recommendation, and I wouldn't see it again in a theater, but I would see it again.
What was the budget? You said you were looking it
Oh, it
up?
was 16 million.
16?
How
Yeah,
much has it
not
made?
bad.
12?
I mean, it's not a hard budget to beat, so
In today's IP dominated theatrical space?
There's not a
It
lot
is
out
it
right now
is it
though.
is A24. A24 does typically do well.
yeah, well, depends on the budget, but this is a good budget.
Yeah,
The Northman did not do as well.
it's been 3.5 years, Ben. Let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they gave him some money, but I could have told them that this was a terrible financial decision for them. I think they'll break even one of these days.
I certainly preferred Eternity to A24's other rom-com this year. Materialist was very okay.
I watched half of it, as you will remember. I have not finished it.
And there's a reason for that.
Not into rom-coms
There it
at
is.
all.
Well, I think at least two out of the three of us, maybe all three of us, can recommend Eternity.
I wouldn't recommend it over some of the other stuff that's out right now, but if it once it comes to streaming, yeah, go watch, if you want to watch a rom-com that has come out this year and
No,
you have to pick
support
which.
movies in theaters.
Okay, but
Sure.
there's also
That,
other really interesting and good stuff in theaters that I would
See
recommend over it.
multiple movies in theaters in a day, like I've done 4 times this year. It's exhausting, but it's worth it. Anyway, Ben doesn't like rom-coms, so let's talk about a drama
hell yeah.
that is
Depression.
very, very just gets you down in the dumps.
Well, first it gets you up. It's like whimsical and it's like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then slowly it drags you down into the dump
Mhm.
and it kicks your corpse. And
That's
then
Left-Handed
Yeah,
Girl for you.
yeah, that
Um,
is exactly. Yep.
this is one that we will all be talking about in about 2 months and change when we get into Oscar predictions because it is Taiwan's official selection for its films this year into the international feature category.
very
Um,
good one.
it will likely get a nomination. I would say this film is Oscar worthy. But let's, for the second time in this episode and the fourth time in the last 2 weeks, let's get into it. What do you guys think?
I mean, I recommended this movie after
This
reading
was
an
your pick,
article,
yeah.
Yep.
and I'm so happy I did. Uh, I
Happy?
liked, well, yeah, because it's an incredible movie. I mean, it makes me very sad. I know I'm supposed to feel really bad for the humans as well, but the death of Gugu was
Goo Goo.
No.
probably the most heartbreaking scene I have seen all
Oh my
year.
God, Goo
I
Goo.
saw that door open and I almost like pulled my fingernails
Why
off.
the
It was
fuck? Why the fuck did Goo Goo yeet himself off that balcony? Just wait. Wait for Ijing to go get the ball.
it just went at the ball, man.
Poor Goo Goo.
Oh, all right, but yeah,
I agree.
it was.
And then
I
it
was
immediately cuts to the news interview where they call it like a flying mouse or something, and you can't help but like have a
A mouse
depression
the
chuckle.
size of a
oh my!
cat.
Yeah.
Just like unidentified blood was found at the scene. Like,
Oh,
We don't know
what
if it was the motorcyclist or the animal.
we can make a guess though. I think it
It
was
was Goo
Goo
Goo.
though. I think it had to
Poor
have been
Goo
Goo
Goo.
Goo. Ugh.
Yeah. Um, that was the saddest moment of the movie for me.
Yeah, because at the end, it's a lot of trauma. You get a lot of trauma coming out of people, basically just not being able to
The
be a
last
child.
20 minutes of this movie, shit hits the fan. A lot of
Oh yeah,
trauma. A lot of
generational trauma throughout the movie, and then we just got holy shit. Big reveal that E Jin is Eon's. Is that right?
Eon was the older sister,
Yeah,
and
Hmm.
Yijing was the younger sister.
yeah.
The teen mother and daughter,
Yes.
Yes.
or
And
early 20s
yeah,
maybe.
poor grandma got out of jail and just had the worst 60th birthday of all time. Like
Grandma
everyone just
did
had a
not know
horrible
what she
time.
was getting into.
She had no idea.
No.
It's just wild. But I mean, I think it's a great movie. It shows, I mean, it is very much in the same vein as like the Florida Project from Sean Baker, um, which is
His
also,
fingerprints are all up and down this movie.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. Like, there's influence from
I
the,
mean, he co-wrote it. He co-wrote the screenplay.
Unsupervised Youth, the movie, is Sean Baker's kind of bread and butter.
yeah, yeah, but like, I mean, it is also very focused on Taiwan and Taipei. Like, this is clearly not his bread and butter completely. I
Right.
mean,
It's
it
not
deals
like
with similar concepts, but does he speak Mandarin? How did he co-write this?
I have no idea,
I
but
think he was
I
a.
just
Did
remember
he co-write the screenplay or did
the
he co-write the
screenplay,
story?
the screenplay.
Huh. I saw that this movie. I read that this movie was shot on an iPhone,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, I saw
which
that.
Do
kind
we
of
think that like so I know that in, like 28 years later, shot on iPhone or whatever means you have those big rigs with like 12 different iPhone 17s or whatever in a
Yeah, no,
circle.
I
But
don't
does
think
this
we got
mean that
that.
this strikes me
it
as
was like
like
it
someone
felt
with
more intimate.
a
Yeah.
handheld rig
Yeah.
with one iPhone
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
horizontal in the
I think
rig.
it's
Very frenetic movement,
You
very
could tell in some of the
natural
shots for
handheld.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was similar, I think, to obviously there's the newer iPhones with better cameras and things, but the Steven Soderbergh like horror movie that he shot on an iPhone, he
Presence?
had a similar rig. It was like
Presence, yeah.
insane. Oh, Presence? Is that it?
Was that the one where it was shot from the point of view of the entity, like the
No,
demon or whatever?
no, I was thinking of
No,
the
the
one
movie from
that
the point of view of the
like
entity was The
traps.
Final Reckoning.
No.
No, I'm Jesus Christ. I'm thinking about the movie where it was like a woman who was trapped in a like insane asylum and the people there are
Unsane.
Oh,
insane. Yeah, that's
unsane.
what I thought.
Okay. Okay.
It's a ridiculous name, I guess. Um, but yeah, that was all shot on like an iPhone and a similar rig. So it's got to be something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
28
yeah.
years later was like a big budget. I'm sure you
Yeah,
can cut a lot of costs with iPhones. I think
sure.
that's why some people are experimenting with it.
Sure. I mean, look, it's been done before, even with like older iPhone models and everything. It's not like it's new, but
Yeah.
it just is, I was just
And I think
thinking
if you
about
want
it
like
because
a
you
raw,
could tell that this one was, shot on a phone in some of the, scenes and everything. To its
yeah, and
credit,
it's
right? Like it's not a knock. I thought it
Yeah,
looked
no,
great.
it
Yeah.
has very much an indie look. It has that low budget sort of presentation and stylization or lack thereof, where you really, as an audience member, you really get immersed in the world. You really feel like you're right there with the characters experiencing these situations. And I think that works to the benefit of the movie. I think that enhances the viewing experience as an audience member.
Yeah, and I also think that the sort of the brightness and the vibrancy of the marketplace, especially set against the backdrop of how traumatic this film is really interesting. Um, you know, you're like moving through the stalls as Egen like does her little shoplifting tours. Um,
It wasn't
but
her. It was the devil hand.
but you watch that and it's bright and colorful and full of life. And she's surrounded by people that are doing their jobs, they're making their careers and making their own living while she's stealing, but she's also doing the same thing. And you have the score that is, at some points, bright and bubbly, but at the same time, it's tragic because this is what she's basically being reduced down to this like little mouse that's finding her way through a really sad world
a little
and
meerkat.
navigating it alone.
A
Like
little Jojo.
she has her mother slash sister and her grandmother and her she has family all around her. She has these communities of people all around her, right? Like, you know, she's going off by herself, and the fact that her mother, her sister, feel comfortable enough letting sort of seeing her do this and notice that she's gone, but don't have this frantic idea of, oh my God, where is she? We have to go find her. In some ways it's great because you have this idea of it takes a village to raise a kid. There is some trust there that she's not completely gone, but on the flip side, it's dark that she's off on her own in this world and is making her own way in nefarious ways, and it's scary for she's what, 6 or 7? She's a little child doing all of these things on her own, figuring things out on her own. Um, and it's set against this backdrop of community and communal food and these communal spaces like the marketplace and everything. And it's tragic.
Yeah, definitely a lot to digest. Um, I think that her going off like on her own is a lot of a consequence of like no one really being her mother.
Yep.
You've got the step-in mother who's trying to deal with her own like problematic daughter,
Yep.
and you know, dealing with the husband that's dying, a stall that's also kind of dying. Um, and nobody's like around all the time to like manage the stall or do anything. It's so dysfunctional.
Yep.
It's like they all care about each other, but they're so, wound up in their own headspace.
Hmm.
Um, and that scene at the end where, or right before, like the trauma dump, we'll say, where the mother, what was the mother? Shu Yen, is that right?
Give me a sec. I got it.
Shenfu?
Or Shen
Shu Fen.
Shu Fan.
Shu Fen. All right, there we go. When Shu Fen talks to Eon um, about taking responsibility, and it's like it's also her fault. She didn't take
Mhm.
responsibility, and then you have Jin who's blaming the devil hand. I mean, there's a lot of you know, wonderfully sad, but parallels about what happens in generations. But
Mhm.
things just sort of continue in cycles. If one person does this, then you do this, and then your daughter does this. And in this case, nobody's just around to care for them, really.
Yep.
Johnny's around.
Johnny is probably the best character in this film. This guy is
In a
so,
world full of bad people, be a Johnny.
this guy is just awesome.
Yep.
Um, Especially at the end where like everything is destroyed, the grandma's having a terrible time, and he's like, "Okay, let's bring out the king." He's always trying. I mean, he didn't know any of this stuff.
Mhm.
He's just learning about this and is like, "Oh my God!" And he just gets up and pushes the cake. He's a problem solver.
Yeah, and he's breaking the cycles, right? Like he's sort of
Yeah,
this idea of, stability and breaking generational trauma and being this source of unconditional love. Like he's coming into this family knowing nothing, like you just said, but appreciating them for who they are and just being present. Like that's something you hear, it's a cliche,
And
is that 90% of the job is showing up, right? And he's showing up, and that is the biggest and most important contribution that any character makes in this entire film.
the
yeah, and you've got like
presence
the son.
is like the support system that this family is lacking. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone is so like they're put into a position of required independence on each of their parts, and that kind of splinters the family dynamic, the already fucked up family dynamic that they have, that having somebody like Johnny to be there and be this support system, even without really intending to be, just sort of falling into that role, is huge for their emotional. well-being. Each of the three lead characters in this one family.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then there's the even more fucked up family of what's the guy's name that the Betel Nutstelt guy?
Aming,
Amin.
Aming, Aming,
Am-
I mean,
Amin
yeah.
and his terrible, terrible wife. Um, I
just
guess
awful.
he's a slightly better person. Gives her some money at the end, but she's terrible. They're just awful people.
She got an
Yeah,
abortion, right?
they're pretty awful.
Yeah, that's what she said. That the baby
Dion
was
got an
gone,
abortion.
and that's why she wanted to like kill her. And then he was, I guess, feeling bad because of all the shit, so he gave her some money.
I also think it's plausible that she was lying, and that he knew that she was lying, and that's why he gave her some money is for support for the child, right? Like I think it's a little ambiguous.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
there's a lot of
at the
stuff
We
end
you
of
don't
the
have
day,
to know the answer,
it doesn't matter. Yeah,
right?
it doesn't matter. It's because,
It's
we get
certainly
that.
not like a nuke hitting Chicago or not.
No, but we get that glimmer of hope at the end in the stall where they are a somewhat
Yeah,
functioning family, and that is an earned feeling of hopefulness that they can emerge from this no matter what happens, no matter what the circumstances are, that they have this new unit that is going to be solid going forward. And that's a that's a great way to end it, right?
and I think it's a lot about communication. It's like,
Hmm.
they finally talk to each other about all this fucked up
Yeah.
shit, and that's gonna pull you together. It's like everyone is, just not talked about it and gone their own way to try to deal with it.
Hmm.
Um, and really, things are kind of terrible at that birthday. Grandma's probably not going to have a great time, but the
Great grandma.
the great grandma. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're a strong unit at the end,
Hmm.
and they finally like overcome that aspect of it, which is just not talking about it, which is a common thing for any type of abuse, trauma, anything like that. You just don't talk about it. You try to move on. Like I think they say near the end, it's like, I just pray that, I didn't have to bring it up and it would just go
Yep.
on and, no one would
Yeah,
ever know. But it never actually solves the problem. It just sort of like buries it.
Hmm. And the communication gets the ball rolling. It's often, the biggest first step, but one of the most important ones is it can clear up a lot of hurdles just by being able to
hashing it
do that.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great movie.
Incredibly
With a
human.
lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Certainly, certainly heartbreaking. It's just
Hmm.
like, why would he have to kill the animal? I know. It's to really make her feel bad about the devil's hammer. Like,
justice for Gugu.
dude, the meerkat was so cute. I was just
If they win
like,
Best
literally,
International Feature at the Oscars, I hope they bring the meerkat out.
I hope so. Show he's okay. No, but for 5 minutes after, there were like other, important stuff going on, and my brain was just
Yeah, I don't know what
drained.
happened. I
I
I
was
I
like,
don't know what
how
happened.
the fuck did they
No,
do?
why?
I
I
don't know
just
what
said no.
happened.
I don't believe it. This is trauma for me. I'm not going to believe this. We're not going to talk about it ever again. It didn't happen.
Poor little
But
guy.
yeah,
I think some stuff with the passports happened in the 5 minutes
yeah,
after. I was
yeah.
like, I don't know what's
I was
going
just like,
on
Not
here.
no,
important. Not
no, you
important.
gotta show me your cat. Gugu, he's in the ER. He's in the vet hospital. He's fine. It's fine.
Just tell me he's gonna be okay. Give me something, please.
We should have done
Please.
Sisu too. The dog doesn't die in that one. They guarantee it.
Oh man, we did Sisu. We should have done Sisu too. Whatever.
We
Um,
can still. We could, or we could just watch it.
double up again next week.
Yeah.
No, speaking of next week, we are going to be doing a theatrical Netflix release, which I guess maybe we should get used to that being the norm. We're not going to get into that because that would be another hour plus of this episode. that has
Yeah,
already
but
gone on for 45 minutes.
it's not really a theatrical release because it was out for like a week or whatever.
It was. I saw it in
Yeah.
theaters, and I'll watch it on Netflix again before we do the
I
episode.
saw it in theaters. I was able to make it to theaters.
Where did you see it, Max?
Bethesda.
Oh yeah, it was in Bethesda.
It's the only theater like around us that where it's playing.
Is it still out in theaters?
I have no idea.
It's
I
on
don't
Netflix
think
Oh.
now.
so because I remember looking like the sort of I saw it sort of at the beginning of the week that I saw it, and by the end of the week I didn't see any show.
I
I
will
didn't see
say
any
this
showing.
again. I will say this again next week. I drove 45 minutes each way to see it. We're talking about Wake Up Dead Man, by the way. The third Benoit Blanc whodunit. First one in three
Most
years.
most likely I wouldn't say last, but
I hope
probably
the
a
last
pause.
Netflix one.
It's the
Yeah.
last of the Netflix deal. Ryan Johnson and
Yeah.
Daniel Craig have ownership over everything moving forward. So if they choose to do a fourth one,
You know,
hopefully they go back to Lionsgate or somewhere else.
they can't. I think they just gotta don't overdo it,
Yeah.
Like
Just
let
keep
them
making
do
them.
some other stuff. Let Ryan Johnson do another Star Wars movie for Christ's sake.
Oh yes, please, please,
The Hunt for Ben
Hunt for
Solo.
Ben
Let him go
Solo.
take that from whoever the fuck was gonna
That was
direct that.
Soderbergh
Oh, well, he can do that. That's fine.
Why didn't they do that?
because
They
Lucasfilm
didn't want
is stupid.
Because they want to do
Anyway,
Sean Levy's X Fighter movie or
Starfighter.
whatever, Starfighter with Ryan Gosling instead, and spend $300
So
million on that instead of
dude,
Soderbergh's like
do they
$75
not get
million.
look, everybody loves Han Solo, but the reason you go to Star Wars is for Jedi. For nobody cares about
really good
Starfighter.
sound
I
effects,
don't
Ben.
care.
So we're talking about Wake Up Dead Man next week. If you're like Ben and missed it in theaters, you can watch it on Netflix and then join us for the conversation next
And you
Friday.
can watch Left-Handed Girl on Netflix.
That is
You can
true.
watch Left-Handed Girl on Netflix. You can watch Eternity in theaters. There's a lot of good movies coming out this time of year. We're getting into awards season, so definitely check out as many movies as you possibly can. Get those stats up on Letterboxd so you can see how many movies you watched this year and make that movie total as big as possible. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm kind of rambling here. So
Endorsed by Letterboxd now? Where's our
watch
cut?
some good movies. Watch some good movies. Support movies in theaters. Ban AI and filmmaking. We will see you for Wake Up Dead Man next week. In the meantime, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.